Because some females just force themselves.
Yes.
When they're not ready.
When they're not ready.
They force
When they're
themselves.
not
They
physically
pretend.
ready.
Even when their body is not ready.
Yeah.
Just to fulfill my husband's needs. I'm sorry, that doesn't stop any cheating. Cheating will happen if it's going to happen.
Exactly. It's missing. You're now panicking.
You need to have that foundation whereby when there's no sex or none of that's happening, that connection that you guys have, a little bit touched here and there, talking, all those kind of things will still keep the relationship alive.
I agree.
But if you don't have that, then that means all you had was just...
That's it. So actually, some people don't talk to each other. It's the truth. Welcome to After Making a Baby podcast. In this episode, we're going to dive into how relationships shift after making a baby. Some of the struggles that couples face and some of the practical ways you can reconnect with your partner and also strengthen the bond. Because I know a lot of people struggle with this. So let's do some real talk and share stories. Okay. But before we dive in, I want to do a little icebreaker game, kind of, just to get us relaxed and just to get the mood.
Wonder what you got up your sleeve today.
Very simple game. It's a game of Would You Rather, but Mom Life edition. Okay. I'll ask you a few questions and we'll just take turns just saying, which situation we would prefer, basically. Okay. First one. Would you rather get a full night's sleep or have someone do all your chores for a week? This is from the perspective of a new mom, especially when those newborn, no sleeping every night.
I'd rather have someone do my chores for a week, trust me, because not that I don't want to sleep, but when I sleep and wake up, those things are still there. So let me be tired and know that everything else is in order and I don't have to come and sort that out afterwards. So yeah, for me, definitely that.
To be honest, I agree. When I said the question, I was just like, 100% chores. I don't need sleep. What is sleep anyway?
Because the energy to do chores, my gosh.
Those dishes, the laundry. If I don't do chores, just do the laundry for me.
The laundry. It's never ending.
It's never ending.
Never ending.
I feel like I'm drowning in clothes.
Especially when you have toddlers as well. Yeah. And babies. Babies, like they have their... What do you call it? Their punamis.
Punamis.
You know what?
Spit-ups. Oh my gosh.
When they do punamis, I'm so sorry. Like, I struggle. Because sometimes when you wash, it doesn't come off.
Yes, it gets stained, like permanently.
Yes.
There are some punamis that I just grab it, put it in a bag and into the bin. I'm sorry. I'm not about to deal with that.
I do that as well.
I'm not about to deal with that.
Because you can't get rid of that stain.
We listen, we don't judge.
Yes, don't judge. If you have tips for us, let us know.
Exactly. Okay, the next Would You Rather question. Would you rather potty train a toddler or survive the newborn sleep regression all over again? That's when they're not sleeping at all. They're just waking up every 30 minutes. I'm going through that.
Do you know
now.
what?
It's a struggle.
They're both difficult. For me, I don't like potty training. It's a nightmare.
Especially boys. I don't know if
potty training girls, I think is easier.
Okay,
with boys, there's two things you have to worry about. Yeah. Trust me.
Yeah.
We poo. So like
aim and
spraying the walls, everything. No. I'm sorry. Newborn. I think I'll go with the newborn sleep one. What will you go with?
I think I'll go with the potty training.
Are you serious?
Because I'm going through the newborn one right now. It's fresh in my mind.
That's why.
I'm exhausted. No. And to be honest, potty training was hard, but I feel like
you enjoyed it.
GD picked it up quickly.
Yeah.
He did because my mom started him really early. Okay. So he wasn't too bad with potty training, actually. There were a few accidents, yes, but, it was okay for me.
No.
I
think I'll leave potty training to you experts.
Okay. The last one. Would you rather always have a baby that naps perfectly but never sleeps through the night, or a baby that sleeps through the night but never naps during the day, basically? Which one might be?
I think I'll go with the baby that sleeps through the night and doesn't nap in the day. I tell you why. If the baby sleeps through the night, I can sleep through the night and we can both have fun in the daytime.
I agree. That one is a no-brainer for me.
Yes, because then we'll both wake up with energy, and then we can attack the day.
Yeah, exactly.
We can play all day
During the day when baby's napping, you're awake.
Yes.
So you're not sleeping during the day anyway. So if he's awake at night, you're gonna be doing 24-hour shift.
For me, that's actually perfect, because you know what? We both sleep at night.
Yeah.
In the daytime, we both have energy. Yeah. Well, my energy is not the same as you, as baby's energy, but at least I can do things with the baby and not feel like you know. And then by nighttime, the baby's tired again, ready to sleep through the night again.
Okay,
that's my one.
I agree. Perfect with me too. Okay, now that we've done a bit of icebreaker, now let's jump into today's episode. And to start off with, I know I wanted you guys to get comfortable. Everybody's relaxed now. You've grabbed your tea, you're chilling, just like us, right? Now let's introduce our guest of the day. It's my beautiful friend and fellow mom, Vanessa. Please,
hello.
You have the floor. Tell us a little bit about yourself, honey.
Well, I'm Vanessa, mom of 2 and a wife.
Mm-hmm. Don't leave out the main important. Wife of how many years? Successful marriage. We need it because you're a veteran.
I'm not a veteran. Well, I'm a wife in this. I'm a baby wife.
A baby wife?
A baby wife.
That's what
been married for 10 years.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, 10 years last year, November.
That's not easy to come by now. 10 years is not beans. Like, I'm seeing a lot of marriages end in divorce in a short time, like 1 year, 2 years. Making it to the 5-year now is a big milestone.
I've even seen less than that. And it's really sad for me. I don't like it.
So when I see 10 years, to be honest, I'll not lie. I look up to you and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's possible. Like, no, because you hear so many, everybody, obviously, the bad news is what makes kind of the news, right?
Yeah.
When there's a disaster. So, but like, I want to see, okay, yes, I have friends that are doing this marriage successfully. Obviously, it comes with its own challenges, but we're sticking it through, we're hanging in there, and that's the goal. That's a goal, right? That's something to look forward to. So
it is, definitely. Well, I know 10 years is not easy, but,
Did you feel like you flew by? Or did you feel like it was 20 years? No,
it doesn't actually, it didn't feel like it's been such a long time. Okay. So yeah, it kind of flew by, and then the times when it was a bit slow. But yeah, it didn't feel like it's been like a long suffering to get there.
Just 10 years?
No. But I still think some people are like, well, let's be positive. Some people have like longer marriages and things like that. So yeah, well, we thank God.
Yeah, that's all. We thank
years.
God. Yay!
I'm still a baby in this game.
We're all babies, baby girls for life.
We're learning.
Okay, so I want to share a story that someone said to me about this episode, which gave me the inspiration for this episode, basically. Okay. And she said, before the baby, my husband and I had date nights, deep conversations, and loads of fun. Now, our deep conversations are about nappy brands. And our date nights, they involve passing out on the sofa by 9 p.m. because we're so exhausted. Please tell me this is normal. And to be honest, it is, right? Because
it's beyond normal.
It's beyond normal.
Because first of all, your date night, especially in the early stages, if you don't do it's hard. I was going to say if you don't do something about it, it could be non-existent, but initially it will be non-existent.
Yeah, it definitely be non-existent.
But you have to find other ways to like bond, because it's a new chapter for both of you.
Yeah.
Well, that's if you're both, just starting out together, but it's a new journey. So date nights are important. So you have to find other ways to still have your you time and still connect. So when she said, what was it that she said in the last bit?
That she said that deep conversations about just nappy brands.
My dear, you have to find other ways, as I said, to speak up, to speak to each other. And you know what I was trying to talk about that made me laugh was the one whereby you said 9 p.m.
Yeah, you're passed out already.
When we used to try to like have date nights with the baby, all we do is literally just press play. Me, I'll be sleeping with my mouth open. It's very hard because you're exhausted.
Nothing prepares you for the exhaustion.
Yes, and things just change, because before you just get up, dress up, go here, go there. But now you have like a whole new life.
That's the thing. To be honest, right? People prepare you and say you're going to have a baby. It's going to be hard. There's going to be sleepless night, nappy changes, but nobody actually warns you about how big of a change is going to be
You're
to
not just
your
gonna get up and go.
relationship.
Yes.
Like, it's going to change your dynamic. It's going to put strain and stress to your relationship. And if you're not strong enough, that's why sometimes I feel like when I hear people saying, okay, like, you know, they're going through a rough time and they want to have a baby to kind of keep them together, I'm like,
no, that's wrong. No,
a baby is going to put more strain.
It will.
If you guys actually don't have a strong bond, it's going to break. Like, it will put more strain between the two of you if you don't have other things in place that can really bond you during
foundation,
this time.
that bond. Because once you have a baby, everything changes. There's lots of stress and everything. So if you already had that environment, it's only going to make things worse.
Yeah.
So you have to just try and, you know, take things easy and find other alternatives to date nights. Trust me. So I remember, I think a friend of mine one time, they were even doing like day dates. So they were like, you know, you can go to the cinema with your baby as well.
Yeah.
So things like that. So they'll try and say, okay, you know what, we can't do our normal nighttime date. Let's try and find an alternative. And so little things like that. You have to just try and figure it out.
Here and there. It's true. When you get out of the newborn trenches.
You do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for you, what was the biggest shift in your relationship after having a baby?
I would say definitely the date nights. Okay. Seriously, I know we just spoke about it, but definitely the date nights, because you can't just get up and go. Everything now takes like extra planning, extra thinking. You have to think, oh, what do I do? How do we do this? You have to plan ahead. So all those spontaneous things where you can just sit down and say, let's even just go here. That's out the window.
That's true.
So that was a big shift and a big shock. And sometimes you just feel like, oh my God, like this little baby is the boss. This is our new boss. We've got to take permission before we do anything. Yeah. So yeah, that was hard.
It's true. For me, it's, you kind of change from, you know, that romance kind of phase to now like almost like co-parents. Like, okay, we're trying to coordinate the kid. We're trying to change nappy. We're saying, you change nappy. Me, I'm tired. You got, you know. Yeah. There's a whole shift in that, in just the dynamic
between you.
And also the communication changes, the intimacy.
Oh, definitely.
Changes.
Yes, it does. It does.
So that also affects the connection. Before, like anytime, you know, you spice things up now, you're so tired that, don't touch me because this baby has been on my breast all day.
Last thing you need is anyone
touching me. And then forget about if you had complications in delivery that now leads you to even have to stay away from, you know, any sort of intimacy for a long time. So that really, really changes the dynamic. And if you don't have an understanding partner,
your partner has definitely be understanding. Yeah. That's very important, because things will not instantly go back to normal. You'll both have to come together, do the job and adjust, and still know that, okay, aside from there's us and there's also us with family and the baby, so that it doesn't like get lost. If not, some people just forget about their their personal couple time, and then that kind of doesn't give them a chance to bond.
That's true. So why do you think most couples or many couples struggle in this transition? Is it maybe because you're just not prepared? Like, you know, you just don't anticipate it? Do you think if you anticipate it, you're able to navigate it better, or is it just what it is?
No, not necessarily, because couples struggle because, one, you can't prepare for that, and two, it's not, some couples don't have childcare. They don't have like anyone to support them. Like they don't have their village or anything like that, which is important. So it puts a strain on things, because before it was just them. They would just both get up and do things, whatever they want to do. So it's not like they're not prepared, but also it's like a shock to their system when it happens. It's like, oh my God, we literally cannot just do anything that we want to do anymore. So that also sometimes causes a lot of frustration in the relationship. So that realization, okay, we can't, but let's find a way. Let's try and see what alternatives we can do. So it's also not giving up and being willing to try different things to still maintain the spark between you two that you have. It might not be how it was before, like you're bouncing off tables or whatever, but you have to find a way to still, you know, make it work. And of course, if both of you are not stressed out, then it makes things easier. But if everyone's tired and stressed,
that's it.
Then the last thing you want, as you said, is any intimacy or connection. So once you find your rhythm and balance, then you slowly okay, you know what? On this day, maybe we can do this, or you have to find a way to make it work.
It's true, because there's so many things that will stress you out. There's so many stresses, and I'm just going to mention a few because sometimes people really don't grasp it, and it's both ways, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like for your partner, he's also new to this, like fatherhood is you're navigating something new for you too, after everything you've been through, So there are things like obviously that can also affect you in terms of your libido, like lack of energy.
Yes.
Hormonally for women, there's so many things that just happens with your body that you might just not have the energy. You will not have the libido. Some people will have very low libidos during that time.
They do.
So at that time, you're almost like you just don't need.
Yeah.
You don't have any desire.
And then your partner has that desire.
So there's like disconnect.
Yes, there. But which is why you have to have an understanding partner to understand that, you know what, at this time, I just have to give her time.
Yeah.
So, and of course, you have to find other ways to still make him feel like, oh, like you're still wanted.
Yeah. And that loss of intimacy always has like the women always have some sort of guilt. Like I had a lot of guilt during that time because I couldn't control it. I felt like I had very low libido after like I had my baby. And I was just like, I want to connect. I know, like even though he was understanding, he never pressured me, my husband, but I still felt like, oh gosh, this part of it is missing. Yeah. It's changed. Yeah. I need to do all my
because you have to make an extra effort to lift yourself up out of that. But also not to be too hard on yourself. You have to give yourself time as well. So it works both ways, but then you of course also have to find other ways where you still make him feel loved and wanted, even though you might not be 100% ready fully, but you try and find other ways to connect, maybe like other, I don't know, ways of intimacy.
Yeah, that's it. Like exploring other ways of methods of intimacy. It's not just about doing the deed or, there are other things where, first
you
of all,
can still feel connected.
Yeah, communicating even more.
Yes, he'll still feel loved and things.
Cuddles, maybe being a bit more like, okay, just checking in, like,
if even it's just both of you on the sofa, cuddling in the daytime, and the baby's just there next to you, and then you just like, just little things like that would help, rather than, it's hard sometimes because you just literally want to push them away and say, don't come next to me, or if you've been through a tough time, you're just like looking at them thinking, I got in this mess because of you.
Yeah. Or you're just feeling unappreciated.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you've gone through this, you've done this, you've done that, and him just there. Maybe he went out with his boys or something.
Exactly. You now feel like, oh come, am I in this on my own?
By myself.
That's another thing as well. But some men also don't know what to do in that situation if their wives are like not being, very receptive. Yeah. So they just feel like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go out there and I'll just leave you to it. Yeah. So your husband, get out of your way. Nah. Or if I'm annoying you. But what they don't realize is that that's a time when you actually want them to take initiative and think, okay, you know what? Let me go find a way to do something romantic. Because what you need that time is like lots of like romantic gestures, encouragement, everything just to feel loved again. Because even though the baby's there, the woman in her heart is also, even though she's pushing the man away sometimes, she still desires
100%
that love, lots of compliments as well, because she's just gone through a major change and shift. Yeah, she's not feeling like herself. She might be feeling unattractive. She looks in the mirror and thinks, who is this person? And she just doesn't feel like how she used to before. So that would also affect how she reacts and how she behaves around the man, and which would affect the intimacy, because she might not be feeling confident. She might think, oh my God, look at my belly. Oh my God, look at my boobs. So she might not feel as sexy as she once did.
100%.
So if the man doesn't get that, then he will just go and do his own thing. And then that will make her feel more isolated. And mentally, that will make her feel even less attractive. And then she'll just feel lost and start, getting depressed. So, it's a very delicate time where you have to kind of try to find a balance, so the woman still feels like, okay, even though I don't look the same, my husband is still interested in me or whatever. Because some men, I've seen, what did I see? I saw something really cute. I think there was this guy who, his wife just had a baby and she was feeling like that. Like, oh, look at me, look at my belly, it's so big. Oh, I look so unfit. I don't look how I used to look, or I've gotten a bit darker or something. I don't know what it was. And then he actually I'm not sure if he was a personal trainer or something, but he came up with exercises and a plan to help her
get back to
her, how she was before. So I think he made a meal plan for her. He also like had exercise where they were like doing it together at home. So they will sort the baby out. The baby might be here, like, in a little cot. And then he will say, oh, lay down. He was doing exercise with her, things like that. That's also a way to bond with her.
Yes.
And also a way for her to feel like, okay, that also naturally create intimacy and, make her kind of, loosen up a little bit over time. Because the more he's doing that with her, it shows that, okay, I care about you.
Yes,
I see you've gone through these changes, but I'm here for you. So I'm ready to help you feel like yourself again. Because I know that when I do help you feel like yourself again, things will work out. Things will flow. You'll be ready to.
And we're back in business.
You'll be ready for me.
To be honest, I think we have to give accolades to good men.
Yes,
because if you don't have a good man during this time, I swear it's going to be so challenging. I have to also just share a personal story for me, because as you're just saying this, I just thought about something my husband did, and I'm like, let me give you your flowers a little bit. Let me give you your flowers. So, I just had a baby. Those that might not know, he's 5 months now, but my baby was about my birthday last year. When my birthday came around, baby was still about, I think, 2 months ish. It was still a bit early, and me, I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to go out, so I was just like, nah. So he decided to plan the whole day for me. Me, I was thinking, okay, we're just gonna be home. We're just gonna chill, and just do nothing. And I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm a birthday person. I love surprises.
Yes,
but I was just like, see, we have a baby.
Yeah.
There's no point. It's okay. Like, I'm just going to chill. And he was like, okay, that's okay, since that's what you want.
Are you sure you didn't secretly expect something?
To be honest, no, I didn't. Because of vigilance. On a normal day, I will. And if you didn't, I'll be like, excuse you,
like,
you know me better. No, but, we're both just in the trenches of postpartum.
Together, yeah.
And I'm just like, it's fine. No, we can celebrate some other time. It's okay.
Yeah.
But on that day, he then surprised me. He booked a masseuse to come, like a postnatal masseuse who was, kind of like specialized in after baby massage. And I had the most amazing, I swear I've not slept so well.
That's lovely.
So it was a really nice surprise. And then after that, he then planned for a private chef to come into the house so that we could do like a three-course meal. And he kind of decorated the whole place, and I had no idea that I didn't even know how he was able to execute it without my knowledge. But to be honest, that was just that really helped me in just the way I was feeling. Even though I was fine in terms of, okay, baby's here, I'm not celebrating, but just it gave me that reassurance that, look, your husband still sees you. He still appreciates you. It doesn't matter. Like, you went through this thing and he really sees the sacrifice. It's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
We sacrifice our bodies, sacrifice our everything that we kind of go through. Pregnancy, and pregnancy for me is quite difficult. So he sees that, and he was able to kind of show me that, I'll still do something for you. And to be honest, in my mind, I was like,
That is so sweet.
You gonna get it, daddy.
I'm sure he was like, yeah. But you see, things like that, men like that is good because it was the thoughtfulness and thinking outside the box, which is important, because he realized, okay, you know what, we're in this season.
Yeah.
We can't go and do the things we would normally do. Yeah, even though she says she's fine with it. But let me think, what can I do?
Yeah.
So thinking about the box is also important. So you couldn't go out, but he brought the restaurant to you.
Literally.
And that also does the trick. So it's just about people just thinking and think, what can I do instead of this? What can I... Making an effort is what matters. Because when you don't make an effort, then the woman now starts feeling like, oh, okay, like... do you even care?
Yeah,
kind of thing. Like, hello, don't come. But, when you do things like that, everything else
it's going to be easy. Okay. I have a question for you now. Is there something you personally went through that really took you by surprise in terms of like just the relationship with your spouse? Like, was there anything that you were like, you didn't anticipate that really shocked you, but maybe you overcame it, or was that good, positive or negative? Anyone?
Anything that really shocked me? I wouldn't say shocked per se, because my husband kind of was very like hands-on and very helpful with things. So I think, that was actually surprising. As well, because most of the time you just assume that, you're just going to do everything yourself. but he was very
When he steps
hands-on.
up, you're like,
yeah, I'm
wow.
like, I was very happy, like, with that. Was very supportive.
Yeah.
So when, like, you know, baby wakes up or things like that, he's there. He'll go make milk.
Yeah.
And all of that. So that really was helpful. Okay. Sometimes I can't, like, I'm so tired, I can't move. So the support that he showed, so it wasn't like, it was like, we're in this together.
Yes.
So that's what was good. So sometimes he would cook. And I didn't have to worry about things like that as well sometimes, which also was helpful.
Okay.
So I think that surprised me. Yeah.
Okay, some accolades for the mister, because that's amazing.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
I think when you have, like I mentioned, like if you don't have a supportive partner, it really, really puts an extra strain.
Yes, it does. Because you worry about certain things.
Yes.
But if your partner says, okay, you know what, don't worry, I've got this. Yes. Then that also eases you don't have to worry about too many things.
Changes so much.
Yeah. So that's actually a good thing.
So any partner that's listening to this, you already told you how you can support your wife through this, right? Just be thoughtful, go the extra mile. Most of the time, we don't even want to. If we have to ask for you to do it, it's already annoying us. Like, I don't want to have to ask you to do it.
I expect you to know what to
do. Just do what to do and just do
read
it.
My
read mind. Don't like, you have a superpower?
Read my mind. You should know. You should know your spouse.
You should know what I need. Don't be waiting for me to tell you what to do, because then I'll say it with anger.
Yes, because I'll feel like you should have known this.
You should know. Why do you have to wait for me? That I'm already exhausted. I don't want to. That's energy.
Yeah,
that I don't have to tell you to do something.
Yep.
So please just be thoughtful. Like, go the extra mile if you can. This is the time to shower your wife with extra love. Like, give her gifts, just compliment her, spoil her, tell her she's the most beautiful girl in the world. Treat her like, like a queen, whether you see it or not, whether it's anything, just pour into her as much as you can.
Also, on the flip side, some men also need to be poured into when they have kids. Because even though we're saying that, some men also, like, when they go through the whole process of, like, seeing their wife, you know, giving birth and everything, for some men is a bit traumatic for them.
True.
Especially if it was a difficult birth. So it can also have an impact on their relationship afterwards, because it's been difficult, and they just kind of, and because a man is supposed to appear to be strong and not show weakness, according to what they say. So for some people, some men, they might be struggling with that a lot as well, because they feel like they can't fully express the extent of maybe how they felt or the trauma that they went through just by maybe watching their wife go through something. As you said, you were in hospital for 2 weeks or something. So imagine also how your husband would have felt, like, oh my God, things have changed. Like, like, they would have panic and worry as well, because they're thinking, okay, there's a new baby and my wife is in hospital. So, like, what do I do? Kind of thing. So for them also, they also need, you know, to be poured into and also appreciated.
Yeah, it's just because they're kind of neglected during this time. There's a lot of focus on the mom and everything that changes for the mom, but not really the dad. But to be honest, like that, there's also a big change.
A big change, even for them mentally alone. Even though they're not physically going through it, but mentally, they also, I think, experience certain things. And sometimes they can't express it, and they're going through their own stress and depression and things like that. And then it causes a strain on the relationships, even without them realizing. So I think, of course he should pour into you more and send you the gifts. But I think he also needs some kind of, you know, appreciation.
Which is
here
why
and there.
this is the time you should communicate so that he can share. It's a safe space, no judgment. Share how you're feeling. He shares how he's feeling. You guys are in this together. You're in this together.
Yes.
So this is the time to really grab onto each other and just navigate it together, to be honest.
True. I agree.
Okay, so I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions out there about kind of relationships after baby that I hear, and in my mind I'm like,
like what?
So let me share a few, because I would love to get your opinion.
Oh dear.
I feel like, okay, so if you really love each other, the relationship won't change after making a baby. It should just continue. Like, why would it change?
That doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense, because I'm like, every relationship.
Relationships evolve over time.
Yeah.
Different chapters of life, different situations. So it will always change. It's about whether your relationship can stand the change, basically.
Yes.
So, well, I don't know about those kind of relationships. I've not heard about those ones, but something would change at least. Because just like how we're saying earlier, if you guys normally are a couple whereby every weekend you have like maybe staycations or you go away every month or something, that's gonna stop when you that's gonna stop. Well, it will stop for a while until you can resume that, and that's a change. So you have to be willing to adapt. So I've not heard of that one before. I don't know about that.
Okay, second one I've heard is if you're not having sex as much, your relationship is in trouble. I feel like that's why people put a lot of pressure on themselves to go back, get back, because you feel like, okay, it's not happening. Is my husband gonna cheat? Is my husband gonna?
To be honest with you, it's only natural to feel that way, especially as a female, because you feel like, oh my God, if I can't meet the desires, wants of my husband's needs and things like that, then he's probably just going to think, you know what, whatever, next or something. It's natural to feel that way. So that's what causes them to put pressure on themselves to be able to to think that, you know what, I need to just force myself, even when they're not up for it. Because some females just force themselves when they're not ready. When they're not ready, they force themselves, they pretend, even when their body is not ready, they're just to fulfill my husband's needs. I'm sorry, that doesn't stop any cheating. Cheating will happen if it's going to happen.
Exactly, it doesn't.
So, it doesn't.
I think one thing I learned, one big lesson I learned after having my baby is that physical intimacy is not the be all and end all.
It's not be all and end all.
There are other forms of intimacy.
For me, the key form of intimacy is that emotional connection and bond. If you have that and you're on the same page, so understand that, you know what, things will still flow. But once you're disconnected emotionally, and like you're not doing... Trust me, that's what causes the problems.
Because I guess it's only the sex that's holding you people together.
Exactly.
There's no emotional connection.
There's no emotional
when
connection.
When that sex is missing, you're now panicking.
You need to have that foundation whereby when there's no sex or none of that's happening, that connection that you guys have, a little bit touch here and there, talking, all those kind of things will still keep the relationship alive.
Yes, I agree.
But if you don't have that, then that means all you had was just...
That's it. So actually, some people don't talk to each other. It's the truth. Some people in marriages don't talk to each other. Like the man is doing his own thing. The woman is like, you don't have things that really...
I know.
You're growing. You're almost like strangers living together.
You just basically live in the same house. Yeah.
So imagine that. And okay, once in a while you guys have sex, and then now there's no more sex. At this point, we just go out. At
that point, there's nothing else. Because what was basically keeping you together
is out the table.
Yeah. So for me, I think the emotional connection is the foundation, and basically still seeing each other and sharing common interests, just doing stuff together outside of it's not only sex all the time. You can do other things together that keep you connected.
Is there one thing that you and your partner did? You remember that this one thing I did it and it really changed the way we connected during this period?
Well, during that period, I think it was mainly about the baby, connecting over the baby.
Okay.
Is what we mainly did. And we tried to do things like, for example, there was a time when I felt like, oh my God. Like, I feel like, we don't have any time for each other. So I tried to see what I can do. I tried to think outside the box. I was like, okay, who can I ask to help? So I had to ask someone to help me babysit, just so that we can just have a little bit of like a day, because we used to go out a lot and things like that. So I didn't want to feel like we're not even doing it at all. So I got someone to do that, and then we were able to go out on a day. And another time, then we even ended up. What did we end up doing the other time? I think we even ended up going away for like maybe 1 or 2 days, but not nothing like too fancy. But just to still have us time. Something. So we tried to do things like that, but sometimes it didn't work.
Exactly, because the baby is really the boss of everyone.
The baby is the boss. We work for the baby. But sometimes it didn't work, even though we had good intentions too. But we just tried to find a way. Sometimes he will ask his mom, see if she can help, and then try and plan things. But Yeah, so those are the kind of things we try to do, basically, that helped.
Yeah, I think that
still
makes
stay
sense.
connected.
Just still remembering that it's both of us in this together. Still finding a little time here and there, even if it's at home.
Yes.
You want to do date night and watch a
You can
movie.
do exactly.
And just
you
do
can
a
do
little
that.
bit, you know.
Yeah.
But just making sure you carve up
Not
that
at nighttime
time.
for me, Sha, because by nighttime I'll be sleeping.
You're shutting.
I'll be sleeping with my mouth open. But in the daytime, even sometimes, like even on the sofa, maybe like baby has fallen asleep and we're just sitting down there, even just playing one Nigerian movie, even though you might not be paying attention, you will just laugh, talk about it, and try and even just trying to catch up on other things, because sometimes everything's moving so fast. So the simple discussion you used to have before, you don't even get simple. Oh, how was your day? How was work? Oh, you know, like how you tell crazy stories. Like, can you imagine at work today? This is what happened. You don't even have time for that anymore. So trying to just have little catch ups, even if it's over food or standing in the kitchen washing dishes, and like, oh, how was just trying to find a way to still connect. So it's not just like, oh yeah, the bottle. Oh, I'm off to feed the baby. You're here doing, you know,
nappy,
So you have to just find ways. It could be as you're cooking
and doing other things, right? You both be in there together, just laughing,
and then you could talk
just,
and you know,
catching up,
do dinner together and things like that. You have to just find other ways to do it.
I agree.
So yeah, that's what we try to do, things like that.
Oh, that sounds amazing. So you guys have listened. You heard, so you go and try and implement this.
Yeah.
When you're washing dishes next time, call your husband into the kitchen and be like, tell me about your day.
Oh my gosh.
Take the cup. As I'm washing, you take and clean, dry it.
Cutting the vegetables.
That's a way to bond.
He's helping get the carrots.
Exactly. Bond over whatever you're doing.
Or whatever you're doing. Because that's the time you have.
That's all you have.
So you have to make the most of it.
Yeah, exactly.
To make the most of it, to be honest with you. And then things fall into place slowly later as time goes on. And
once you get different stages. And you get better. So let's answer some questions that a few people have sent me. One person said, my partner and I have totally different parenting styles.
Oh, gosh.
How did we get on the same page? When I got this question, I was like, oh my goodness, that's a difficult one.
To be honest with you, you will not always get on the same page because there's going to be one parent. Oh God, I'm just laughing. There's going to be one parent who says no to the kids, or who thinks that, oh, do things this way. And then there's another parent who thinks something else.
Yeah.
Also, it also stems from the way they've been brought up.
It's true.
Things that they believe, individual ways that they've been brought up, things that they believe in. Because some people, maybe the way they, maybe they heard something, or in their background, they feel like, oh, if you, I don't know, put the baby on their tummy or give the baby water or something like that, something will happen. And some other people are like, no.
Yeah, that's not
that baby can drink water from now. Yeah. But so it all depends on how flexible their thinking is and their mentality is. Because if some people are like, you know, just stuck in their ways, like, okay, this is what I heard, this, let's do it that way. And another one's like, oh no, but you know, I'm sure we could just try a little sip of water here and there, whatever. And then, you know, the other one's like, no. so there's different parenting styles. And sometimes it carries on as the kids grow up.
Yeah.
And then the kids notice and use it to their advantage.
Playing you guys
like
against each
my
other.
daughter.
Your daughter she's smart. Let me just tell you
I'll
that.
Tell her, oh no, no to something she's asked me for. Don't think this girl hasn't gone downstairs. Ask her dad. And I'll come down and see her like maybe eating the biscuit.
Oh
like,
my God.
I want. And I'll be like,
I said no.
I said no. So, yeah, but daddy said it's okay.
Oh my goodness. Like, she knows the parent she can go.
Yeah, and I'm like, but babe, I said that there's no, let her have a proper like dinner, no biscuit first or something. Yeah. You'll be like, well, it's just one biscuit. I'm like, what do you mean? So things like that, you know, when the kids grow up and know that, you know what, if I ask daddy will say yes, or mommy will say this, so I'll go to daddy instead, because I'll be like, eat your food first, and she'll be like, oh no, but daddy said I can have one biscuit, and she knows where to
it's funny because my 3-year-old has actually started doing this.
You see,
I've heard, like, I noticed, like, one day he came and he asked me for something. And I said no. And the next thing, he just went upstairs. And I overheard him asking. And I just started shouting, I said no! Before he says yes.
Yeah.
Because, did I just say no? Why you going to ask that?
Trust me, they know how to get their way.
Goodness.
And especially when you have a laid back partner that's just like, oh yeah, my husband's like, yeah, he just want biscuit. Oh, is this? And I'm just like, oh my God. So parents, they have different parenting styles. Sometimes you clash, or you might not agree with certain things. Yeah. So, but it's all about trying to find a common ground. Like, okay, we're both trying to do the best that we can for the child.
I think having that conversation too, because at the end of the day, the foundation in terms of how you raise your kids, the values, the principles should align. Right?
Yes, of course.
There's certain things you agree. If you guys are Christians, you agree, okay, we should go to church, we should raise our children in a certain way. But these are that little things, okay, there might be some times where you guys disagree.
Well, I must say, not in all cases, there are some households whereby the mom goes to church with the kids and they're Christian and the father is Muslim and stays at home and doesn't. Yeah, there are households will say it doesn't always align in that way as well.
It's true.
Because some and even then it's still for those households, some of them it still works because I guess they both want to respect each other's religion and things like that. So there are different kinds of households out there. Some
figure out what works.
Some some are in the same religion, some are not, and they're still finding other ways to work. But then I've also seen some where they both have different religions, and then there's clashes in terms of but I want the kids to be and not to be Christian.
That's gonna be hard. Though.
Yeah, so there's so many different things going on.
Yeah. Wow.
So but the common goal, of course, is wanting the best for the kids, making sure that they understand like some ground rules, values, and things like that. Grow up with respect, all of that stuff.
True.
But you have those funny moments where the kids know what to do to bend a parent's arm.
They're smart, too smart sometimes.
Yeah.
The next question I got is, how do I tell my partner I need help without it turning into an argument? This just kind of reminded me of what we spoke about where you say, I don't want to ask you to do something. You should just read my mind and know that you should get it done.
Well, us females, we always want them to read our mind and know what to do and expect so they should know what to do. But unfortunately,
it doesn't
always work that way.
Yep.
But to be a little bit fair to them, they can't always read our minds because there are situations whereby they also need a little bit of help because in that moment some of them are trying to tread lightly. They don't know what to do, what not to do to trigger you or make you upset. So in some cases it might need a little bit of guidance. Of course, you should still use your initiative. As a woman, we think you should. But sometimes you need a little bit of guidance, a bit of help.
Yeah.
But then sometimes when you've already asked, you don't want to have to ask like 10 times. Like, hello, I asked you. You should now know what to do.
My tone just started changing. When I say, can you do this? Can you do this?
Yeah.
Can you do this?
Yeah.
Like, can you do this?
Like, you should get the message now.
Now it's an argument.
Yeah. But sometimes, that's what gets annoying because like, okay, I've already told you a few times. So now you should. Yeah. But sometimes some men do need guidance. Not everyone that,
is able to
just do that.
Okay. Well, I think that kind of segues into us kind of wrapping this whole episode up. And I want us to end with like sharing a practical step we think any relationship can utilize or can use to really connect during this period. I'll start with one and say like, this is a time for you to communicate and over communicate. Like, do not underestimate how much communication you need during this time because like we said, there's certain things you might be thinking and your partner is thinking, but you just don't know because you're not sharing and you're not communicating with each other. And once you do that, you're able to, even your fears, like, no judgment zone, safe space, lay it all out on the table. Yeah. If you're feeling like sometimes I tell my husband, I don't feel sexy. Like after I had a baby, my tummy was massive. I'd gained all this weight.
Yes.
I was just like, and he obviously I was thinking, is he wondering about intimacy? I'm not sure. But I was just like, I'm going to tell him. I'm scared it's going to hurt. So I don't want to do it yet. I feel ugly. I feel fat.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel sexy.
Just feel different. Yeah.
I just feel different. Like who is this person?
Who is this person?
And
in the mirror.
Doing that.
And you're wearing things. You're putting things on that used to look really nice, and you're just like, this looks horrible now. Look at my big pouch.
It just looks horrible. Nothing fits anymore.
Yes.
And he would tell me, babe, stop. are you serious? Stop thinking about this
Sometimes,
thing.
you know what?
You're sexy.
Sometimes we're actually overthinking
That's
it.
it. We do it to
Because you know what?
ourselves.
Sometimes I feel like what we're seeing in the mirror is not what they're seeing.
They are not seeing
Because
that.
when I look at ourselves, I'm thinking, oh my God, look at me. Oh my God, look at my boobs are like this or my
Yeah.
this. And some of them are not even seeing that.
He's like saying that, oh, big boobs, damn.
Yeah.
My
That's
husband
the
likes to
thing.
claim he's not an ass man. I gained some weight, and this time I'm not like this baby. My bum actually grew bigger. I don't understand why. It didn't happen with the first baby, but this baby, the waist went there. And now I noticed that he's now giving me extra. I'm just like, I thought you were not. He's like, you gained some weight, so which I was thinking, because I'm fat.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you're fat.
You see, that's the thing. That's the thing, because sometimes you're worrying and thinking and overthinking. Oh my God, I can't, and then you're restricting yourself.
Yeah.
You're like feeling like different.
Yeah.
And he's not seeing.
He's not even
he's probably
seeing
just
that.
thinking, okay, she looks good or something like that.
Ooh, sexy, you know. So you have to communicate these
But
things.
then communicating your
really
fears and him also reassuring you
Yes.
and complimenting you regularly
Yes.
would also boost that confidence in you again.
100%.
And you might start feeling like, oh, okay, yeah, I do look good or whatever, things like that. So, but if you're not getting compliments or not getting anything, and then you're feeling like that, you just start thinking, oh gosh.
Yeah, that's
that
when
means
the anxiety, the guilt,
it would
everything.
actually feed into your own
fears
worries.
and-
You now think, oh my God, he's not said anything to me nice.
Yeah,
I
does
definitely
he still
must
find me
look
sexy?
ugly.
Exactly, I'm ugly.
He's
Doesn't
definitely
even
not
fancy me
interested. He
anymore.
now finds me yucky,
Yeah.
disgusting, or whatever. But if he's like,
Why do our minds?
I'm telling you, you now start thinking things that is not even happening. Imagining all sorts. Meanwhile, the man is just thinking, if only she just give me a chance.
Exactly. Oh, you should just give me one chance. That's what I need. Okay. Do you have any other tip besides communication and over communicating?
I think communicating and, as I said, finding ways to connect, which may not have been the ways you were connecting before.
Yeah, different forms.
So it could even be like in the bed where you guys are upstairs and the baby is like sleeping and you're just chilling, you're both tired. You can even just play a little game together or something. Just simple,
have fun.
Simple
Find
things.
a new way to have fun
In the
again.
moment that you're in the
Yes,
chapter
yes,
that you're in.
yes.
That's what's important.
Yes,
Because later
make room
on,
for fun.
you will look back and think, oh, can you imagine? Like, remember when we couldn't go out? This is what we used to do, or something like that. So you look back and laugh at it. You have to both embrace the phase that you're in.
Yeah.
And so that the other person doesn't feel alone. You're in it together.
You're in it
together. In it together.
Literally.
In it together. It could be simple things like maybe simple massages or foot rub. It could be anything.
yeah.
It's just chilling and trying to even enjoy that season you're in and not look at it as, oh my God, this
trapped.
baby has come and this baby has come to put a wedge between us. Don't see it like that.
Yeah. It's
You know?
a blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing. So like, love the moment. Try to still love each other. Try to still find ways to connect and bond.
To be honest, like when me and my husband had the baby, it really changed the bond. Like it changed, like it was hard in that moment because postpartum, everything you went through, but it also made our bond.
Yeah.
It took it to another level.
Yes.
Like now when I look back, like this physical intimacy was not even. Because it wasn't there, did not affect
anything.
The relationship.
Yeah.
Because now you've gone through something
You
that
embrace
is
it
so
together.
amazing. Like
Yes.
you actually have this, you created this amazing human being.
And
you know?
everything that's happening, you're enjoying
You're
it.
enjoying
And
it. Your parents now,
yeah.
you're so proud. Like, it changes. It actually is a beautiful thing if
It
you're able
is,
to navigate
it is,
it. So
it is.
doing that really changed our bond. Like now, when you say that solidifies our family unit.
Yes, it
So
does. And the
it's
friendship
pretty
that you
special.
have.
Yeah.
Which should always be there anyway.
Yes.
So it's not just about the sex part of things.
Yeah.
That's what's actually more important because
Exactly, the
you go
friendship.
through that and then naturally things will get back to how they were.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the perfect place to wrap this episode up with a bow. I hope this was really helpful for you all. If this resonated with you, if everything we said, and if you're at home feeling like, I don't know how to reconnect with my partner, I feel like we are just strangers. Look, you're not alone. You are completely normal. We've all been there.
Yeah.
It's a phase. And we say this is the time to really, really reach out to your partner and try as much as possible to find new ways to bond and communicate so that you can navigate this phase together.
Rather than be isolated from each other. Because if you're not
Exactly.
communicating,
Exactly.
then That's when there's a problem.
That's when there's a
then you
problem.
grow apart because no one's sharing their feelings. Everyone's just like, okay, you know what? She said no. I'm just going to do my thing. And then you kind of grow apart.
Yeah.
So just embrace the moment and the season that you're in.
Let's give them an assignment because I'm thinking, like we said before, today, if you've not done this and you're feeling like you're disconnected from your partner, take 5 minutes today to just check in. Like we said, if you're doing the dishes, call your partner in, ask him about their day, check in, how are you feeling, lay it all out on the table. So that's your assignment. Let me know if you completed it in the comments below. I'll be looking out.
Let us know.
I'll be looking out. So anyways, if you have any other stories to share, please, we'll be looking out in the comments below. Just share it with us. Let's keep the conversation going. Because that's how we'll learn from each other, by sharing and by being open and honest about these things.
True.
Everyone goes through it.
Everyone goes through it. Make sure you give compliments as well.
Yes, 100%.
Compliments are a great booster.
And gifts.
Oh, look at you. Now we know what your love language is.
Yes.
Like, gifts.
I'm not hiding it.
I'm sure your husband has heard.
Hint.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much to the beautiful Vanessa for joining us today. It's been amazing having you on.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully we'll see you in future episodes also.
I'll be ready.